On Monday, Channel 4 News reported on the case of Thomas Orchard, a 32-year-old Exeter man who died a week after police had restrained him in custody. We revealed he'd had an emergency response belt fastened around his face. The belt, which is normally strapped around the chest or legs, was apparently applied to his face to prevent him from biting or spitting. The police watchdog was so concerned by Mr. Orchard's case that it wrote to every chief constable in England and Wales, warning them against using the belts around people's heads. But tonight, Channel 4 News has learned that another police force has been using the restraints in the same way. Our Home Affairs correspondent Andy Davies joins me now from Cardiff. Andy, tell me what you found out.
Well, Kathy, since we broadcast that report on Monday, we've been contacting every single police force in England and Wales, trying to find out how many of them have been using these emergency response belts, and crucially, if any of them, other than Devon and Cornwall, as in the case of Tom Orchard, have been using them to fasten them around detainees' faces to stop them from spitting or biting. And we came across a Freedom of Information document today which shows that Norfolk Police have also been using them as these so-called spit hoods. And we know how often. Between 2010 and 2012, the document reveals 83 times. So not just a one-off. And remember, this is a practice which the Association of Chief Police Officers came out yesterday to say it cannot endorse.
And briefly, what are Norfolk Police saying?
Just got a statement from them. They said they did use the emergency response belt as a spit bite guard without incident. Officers received training in accordance with the manufacturer's manual. Sanction of this tactic was withdrawn in November 2012 after receiving ACPO guidance. But no real explanation as to how they thought this was appropriate to use it in this way in the first place. And I think this now raises much wider questions, not just about the types of restraint being used and how they're being used, but more importantly, about how closely all of this is being monitored.
Andy, thanks very much for joining us.